dad, does he get on you more because he's your dad, or does he get on you the same amount as everybody else?
I think it's a little bit. It's the same amount of everyone else while we're out here. But he'll send me some texts sometimes, like about certain plays that I need to fix. Because I asked him how practice went on Saturday, I think it was, and he brought up some certain play where I messed up. He was like, "Good, except for this." But he brings stuff up sometimes. But I think when we're around everyone else, he coaches me the same way.
Yeah, Drew, you came in with Gunner. Just how have you seen him evolve over the past few years, and what's it like to potentially be working together as starters on this offensive line going into this fall?
Yeah, I've known Gunner for a while, and so when he came in, we already had a little bit of a relationship, and we've became good friends as time went on. He's my roommate now, and it's really cool to have him behind me as we have a really good connection. He can, I think we communicate pretty well together, and it's good to be on the same page as him a lot of the time.
Coach Smart has talked about the emphasis on running the ball better. What's that challenge like as an offensive lineman? I mean, to go in there against the defensive line at Georgia, and what you guys got to do to be able to run the ball better.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a great defensive line, and that makes us better every day. But we have 4 starters from last year that we have to replace, and people have to step up. But it's just an everyday grind to learn how to run the ball better. It's not going to happen overnight. We got to put in the work just to get better over time as spring ball comes, summer, watching film, and then fall camp. We just got to put in the work to get better at running the ball.
Which players are you seeing at that zero technique, the nose? Who's lining up there that you have to face?
I mean, I see different people all the time just because Coach Scott likes to mix and match everything kind of during spring ball. I mean, I've seen Xavier McLeod, Jordan Hall, Nazir Johnson sometimes, just different people, just going against people all the time. And I go against all the D linemen really, just depending on where they're stunting, what kind of packages they're in, and all of them make me better. Even the linebackers, just because that's who I block a lot of the time, make me better.
Sure, I'm trying to remember, was it the Alabama game where Micah got hurt and you wound up coming in?
Yeah, the Alabama game, Jared got hurt. I played one play though for the Alabama game. Yeah.
So when you had to play when Jared got hurt, what was that experience like, and how much do you think it has helped you now going through getting ready to start?
I mean, when I played Alabama game in one play, I was a little nervous but excited at the same time. I went in for one play, and I thought I was going to play the whole next series, and I was excited. And then Jared came hobbling out of the tent and went back in, and I was a little upset, but I was happy that nothing was seriously wrong with him. But then the next couple games, I got the opportunity to step in and play, and I just tried to have fun with it and be the best prepared I could be going into those games to help me play to the best of my ability.
You mentioned your dad gets on you. Have you messed with him after the SEC championship with your fake punt pitch to Arian?
I haven't really messed with him that much, but I remember walking onto the bus and one of the other coaches yelled that I had a better passing percentage than him in the SEC championship or completion rating, and I just laughed about it, but I haven't really messed with him that much about it.
Do you remember anything about being the ring bearer at Kirby Smart's wedding, and what has your relationship been like with him over your time going as now a player?
I don't really remember that, but I remember I've known Coach Smart as long as I've grown up, just always going on trips with him and my dad, either the lake or North Carolina sometimes, just growing up with Andrew and Weston and Julia, and during that growing up. And once I got here, he really doesn't treat me any different either. He'll get on to me when he needs to get on to me, and he'll get after it sometimes, but he doesn't treat me any different, I don't think, while I'm here.
Drew, I have to imagine as a coach's son that, sometimes it's really fun, and then sometimes, when fans are upset, it's probably got to be hard to navigate. What is that like, and are you able to block out outside noise when it comes to your dad? What's sort of the dynamic like dealing with that?
I really don't buy much into that as trying to not, I don't really look at it or anything like that. I've heard it my whole life, so it really doesn't change anything.
When you were being recruited, you came to Georgia, and a lot of people thought, oh, this coach's son, Kirby knows it, that's why he's being here. Then you go out and you're actually a starter. You get to play for Georgia, you're projected starter at the center. Is there ever a moment where you go, how do you like me now? Looking back at it, hey, I proved it. Well, this wasn't a pity offer or a fake scholarship. I'm actually here.
I mean, not really, because I don't really buy much into that. Ever since I've gotten here, I've just kind of tried to put my head down and work to goals that I've had over my career. And one of those goals is to play at Georgia, and that's something I've wanted to do my whole life. So that's really what I put my head down and try to work towards.
Do you call him dad or coach on the practice field?
I really don't talk to him unless I'm being addressed by him on the practice field. I mean, sometimes I'll walk up to him and ask a question, but he'll already see me. But I try not to address him because either he's getting on to me or he's telling me something I did wrong if I'm being addressed while on the practice field.
You've obviously both focused on football in your roles, but just can you comment on how special this is? I mean, this is an incredibly unique thing. You know, this is big time college football, and you're set to start. He's calling plays. Just can you talk about how special this is? Do you appreciate how special it is?
I really do. I mean, it's something I wanted to do. My whole life was play for my dad and play at Georgia, and I appreciate that I get to do that now. And that's why I think that I put so much effort and time into this, just because that's something I've wanted to do my whole life and something that I want to happen.
Drew, before you got to Georgia, how much had you really played center growing up? And then when you look at guys like Jared, like Said, how much do you feel like they helped you to where you are now as a center?
I played, I think my sophomore year of high school, I played center, and then my senior year I played tackle, but I was like a kind of a backup center. But looking at right when I got here, Said had been the center since I got here, and that dude's one of the best leaders that I've ever witnessed, and that's something that I want to model what I do about, because he's a great dude, he's a great leader, and he gets all the guys on the same page communication-wise while on the field, and that's something that I want to do as well. And then Jared last year, he's a great dude too. He learned from Said as well, and I think he had some of those same qualities that made him a good leader last year and a good center, and he's also just a freak athletically.
How has Gunner kind of settled into being the starting quarterback in practice? He's kind of thrown into the fire after the championship game to get ready for the playoff, but had more time now.
I mean, I think after the championship game, a lot of people embraced Gunner and tried to bring him in because we knew he had never started a game before, and really last season he didn't get as much snaps as people thought he would going into the season because we didn't have as many blowout games as the previous years, and I think people really embraced the Gunner coming in and needing to help him out, and I think he did a good job as well of putting in time and preparation and practice reps and trying to lead the guys in his role and position during the championship game, after the championship game, and the Notre Dame game. And I think those things have prepared him to be able to lead us, and he's stepping up as a leader, whether it's in workouts and going into spring ball. I think he's doing a really good job.
Drew, you guys had Jared move on to the NFL, and then Tate and Dylan as well. Tate, Jared, and Dylan moving on to the NFL. You guys have 3 new starters to replace on the interior offensive line. How have you sort of seen the younger guys in that room gel together this spring?
Yeah, I think, Mike has obviously played a lot of snaps, and he's a veteran guy going on his 5th year, and I think he's done a really good job leading us and pulling us along, because, I mean, I played a couple games, but not as many as Mike has played, and he's pulled us along, and he's kind of showing the younger guys ways to do it, and he's been doing really well this spring, and different young guys have been rotating in and given opportunities, and I think it's good for them to get a chance to play and try to prove themselves.
What have you seen, talk about going up against the different defensive linemen, what have you seen out of Elijah Griffin?
I think Elijah's a great player. I mean, we started doing some one-on-ones before spring ball even started, and I could tell just by the way he got off the ball that he's going to be a good player. And then I've watched him this spring, and he's getting better every practice, and he's getting after it. I think he does a really good job, and he's a good kid. His locker's right across from mine, and I talk to him all the time, and I really like spending time with him.
When you look back at these last few years, Drew, was there a point where you realized, okay, I belong, I can hang with the rest of these guys? Can you, looking back, think of a point where you felt like it was really clicking?
I mean, when I first came in, I had my doubts for sure, especially as a freshman coming in, looking at a whole new offense that I had just really no idea what was going on. But that's really every freshman, and I was brought in by older guys like Said and Jared and people like that led the way. And I think just during my first couple practices, I realized it's just that I could play. And then I had shoulder surgery my freshman year and came back in the spring and just continued to try to put my head down and work to learn the offense better and just play harder during practice and learn how to do different plays and what to do on different plays, and that's helped me throughout my time.
Good time for one more question.
Hey Drew, over here. Kirby was telling us earlier that like that him and the staff are trying to reward you guys for showing high quality effort and playing hard. What have you seen? Like, how are things different maybe this spring than they were last fall or past springs?
I mean, I think that's something that Coach Smart's always tried to do, reward people for playing hard. I think that they're just promoting it more, and because we have so many more new guys and younger guys, he's just promoting it more, trying to show the Georgia standard so the older guys can keep it and he can keep it. And we've just been an example of that is every day he puts clips up on the board of high effort plays, stuff like that. But ever since I've been here, he's always done that. I mean, running to the ball and stuff like that. But also, if you don't do it, I remember the other day, I was jogging, someone passed me, and it was on the team meeting, and he said, "This isn't you." And I knew that he was right, but there's just obviously consequences for not doing things the right way, and you get applauded for doing things the right way.
Thank you, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.